Beloved sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the packed suitcase by her feet. The old fraying suitcase contained all she had left of her life. Her heart was heavy, but her mind was made up. She couldn't stay in the flat any longer, not when it suffocated her with memories of failure and betrayal. She had spent her last dime on rent and groceries, not for herself, but for family who never gave her a second thought once their needs were met. No one had asked how she was doing. No one cared. Her kindness had been her undoing. Every relationship she poured her heart into ended in heartbreak. Every friend she helped turned away when she needed them most. Even her mother, sweet, fragile Mama, depended on her without truly understanding the weight she carried. Beloved loved her mother more than life itself, but tonight, love wasn't enough. She had nothing left to give, not to anyone, not even herself. The clock on the wall ticked loudly in the quiet room. It was 4:55 a.m. The night sky outside was beginning to pale, hinting at dawn. Beloved grabbed her bag, slung it over her shoulder, and tiptoed to the door. She didn't dare look back at the small room she'd shared with her mother, afraid the sight of it would weaken her resolve. As she reached for the doorknob, a tear slid down her cheek. She bit her lip to keep from sobbing aloud. She couldn't even leave a note. What would she say? "Mama, I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore." The door creaked as she opened it, and a cool morning breeze greeted her. But before she could step outside, her heart stopped. There, on the front step, knelt her mother. The frail woman was wrapped in a thin shawl, her grey hair catching the first rays of sunlight. She was praying, her hands clasped tightly together, tears streaming down her wrinkled face. "Father, please watch over my daughter, beloved," Mama whispered, her voice trembling. "She's been so strong, so kind, but I see her pain. I see how tired she is. Please, Lord, don't let her carry this burden alone. Keep her safe. Bring her peace." Beloved froze, the suitcase slipping from her hand. She hadn't known her mother was awake, let alone aware of her struggles. The sight of her, so small and vulnerable, broke something inside Beloved. Her knees buckled, and she sank to the floor just inside the doorway. Tears came in torrents now, silent but unstoppable. Mama turned her head, startled by the sound. Her tired eyes widened when she saw her daughter sitting there, crumpled and crying. Slowly, painfully, she rose to her feet and stepped inside. Without a word, she wrapped her arms around Beloved, pulling her into a tender embrace. "Beloved," Mama murmured, her voice soft and full of love. "Why didn't you tell me, my child? I may be old, but I'm still your mother. You're not alone. You've never been alone." Beloved buried her face in her mother's shoulder, sobbing harder. The suitcase lay forgotten by the door. She realized then that she couldn't leave, not like this. Mama was her anchor, the one constant in a world that had turned its back on her. And as much as she felt empty, broken, and used, she knew she had a reason to stay. They sat together in the doorway, holding each other as the morning light poured in, and for the first time in a long time, Beloved felt a flicker of hope. She didn't have all the answers, but she didn't need them, not yet. For now, she had her mother, and that was enough.